All aboard the gospel train.
Boom.
Get ready, get ready. He's coming, he's coming. Get ready, get ready. He's coming, he's coming.
I've never had a friend who sticks closer than a brother.
I'ma call you Baby Moses because you brought us a long way.
He's coming, he's coming.
You guys deserve this 50th anniversary.
Get ready, get
Brother
ready.
Maloy, I know you probably want to whoop me a whole bunch of times.
And I'm not scared of you anymore. As a kid, I used to always be scared of you because your voice was so deep, but I love you so much.
Get ready, get ready.
Uncle Thea is just not just an uncle to me. He's also, I call him Papa.
Oh, yeah.
Sister Maloy, you are the perfect example of a lady, and hats off to you guys. Congratulations.
People get ready, there's a train coming for you and I.
Every story has a great beginning. So does this story. It began on December the 2nd, 1933. Mr. Ernest and Mrs. Aileen Maloy gave birth to their fourth of 6 children. There was Charles, Dorothy, Thaddeus, Elza, Lee Jewel, and now Theaster. Brenda and Kathleen would soon follow. And then there's the twinkle in Theaster's eye, Annie Mae. Born July the 12th, 1934 to Elijah and Alma Lewis. The oldest of 5 girls. Big sister to Lula Mae, Gladys, Doris, and Betty Jo.
So, when did you meet your wife?
Well, we were in high school. We both were still in high school.
So, when did you realize that this is the woman you wanted to marry?
Before I finished high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I already had her picked out in my eyes on her. A bird in the hand is better than 2 in the bush. I thought I had that one, you know.
And finally, on July the 20th, 1952, they joined as one. From this union, Sandra, Perry, Theaster Jr., and Selvin were born. Although he began preaching at age 11, his early Bible training began at the knee of his father, Ernest Maloy.
So, do you remember what church you were at when you preached your first sermon?
It was called Oak Cliff Church of Christ. That was where I first started preaching.
Do you remember the subject of your first sermon?
Where God put water. The intent of that was to explain that water baptism is between one sin and his salvation, and in order for one to rid themselves of their sins, they must go through baptism.
With a wife and now 4 children, the Maloy family sought to find their own space and finally settled in Houston in 1957. Brother Maloy decided to become the minister at Fidelity on January 1960. And then there was that decision to tear down the old white building and move to the temporary building just around the block or so, where there were so many frogs during the sermons, and rebuild.
In a weary land, he's the shelter in the time of a storm. Oh, rocky vine, oh, refuge dear, he's my shelter in the time of a storm. My Jesus, let's all say amen. I'm glad about the mothers, and without mothers there would be no procreation.
Well, I've been coming to Fidelity him over 50 years, and I've been knowing brother and sister Lord for years and years. They've been real good to me. Anytime I could talk to him, and he would give me comfort. So I think that's a real brother there.
So, Sister Maloy, you're a preacher's wife. What's the hardest part of that for you, being a preacher's wife?
I sure want to hear that.
Well, I wouldn't say it's hard. A lot of times I would wish that he could be there with us, but then I know preaching is his job, and that's what he chose to do. So I just make myself satisfied that I'm going to do the best I can.
So now, the flip side of the coin is, what's the best part of being a preacher's wife?
Oh, the best part of being a preacher's wife is meeting people, loving people. I mean, you have a chance to meet so many people.
I'm gonna tell you what he meant to me and what he meant to me. He baptized me. He's been a blessing to me and an inspiration because he's always encouraging me to keep going.
I understand that your dad built this house.
Yes, my dad, along with my mom and my two older brothers, myself, and of course the sister that was next to me. I guess she just gave us a cup of water at that time.
You are the last three of your clan. I want to ask you and Aunt Ree, Aunt Brenda, as a pastor, what does Brother Maloy mean to you?
I don't want to say too much because it might sound like I'm bragging, but it makes your chest stick out. It makes you feel good when you go places and all you say is, people ask you where you go to church, and you'll tell them Fidelity Church of Christ. They'll say, well, you over there with Maloy, huh? Well, you know, he's known all over the world.
I don't know what to say. I guess I must have really been proud because he would come back from Houston up here, and it was supposed to be such a big thing. And I started copying his lessons and stuff and trying to do things. So my dad would have sermons. And so I had this little typewriter to do the sermon like they did it. So when I get to a certain spot, I put a long line and I say, when you get to this point, holler. You know, I thought that's what you're supposed to do, was to holler. Because he would get to certain and he'd say, I'm so and so and so, yes.
He really tries to, you know, help me with what I need, and they come and do different things. And I do appreciate that, even though I may not, you know, I may not tell them that just verbally. Regular, but I do, you know.
Hi, my name is Lillian Haynes, and Brother and Sister Maloy have been great leaders and spiritual inspiration, and it's been a pleasure being under their supervision. Happy 50th anniversary, Brother and Sister Maloy. Many more years.
Now I want to say something about my family.
Okay.
Theaster Maloy is my husband. And he's been my husband for almost 59 years. And he has always taken care of the 4 kids, Perry, Sandra, and Selby, and Junior. A wonderful husband. But you know, I really wish people could understand Thee. A lot of people can't understand him. But Theaster is a genuine good person. But the ways he talks sometimes, he turns people away because they don't understand that. But he is a very beautiful person.
I always tried to be there for her and prove that to her. Now, she may not have too much to say about when I did not agree with her having her way, you know. She can have her say, but just not always her way. That's the way it goes, you know.
And Theaster was always a caring person. You know, just like when we go out, Theaster would take care of me just like I was a child, you know. I never had to worry about anything because he was going to take care of me. And that is one of the reasons I guess I fell in love with him.
Hi, my name is Helen Shields. My husband Edward and I attend South End Church of Christ with our daughters Brittany and Asia. And we've known Brother Maloy for a long time. He's been so dear to all of us here. He's never forgotten about Giddings. He just loves us as much as we love him. Thank you.
Giddings was important for the Maloy family, and Fidelity joined the folks at South End Church of Christ for congregational singing, sound preaching, and a meal on the grounds.
Here we are in Giddings, Texas, at our annual homecoming. But from what I understand, this is where they started. And they only moved to the Bateman center because a lot of people showed up?
It's more space up there for this particular occasion. Usually was held here always, but after that building was built, they finally started hosting it there.
Good evening to all of you. Good evening. Now, I don't know where you're from and don't know who's going to sing. I just know the places such as Rockdale and Bryant and San Antonio and Austin and Houston, Dinebox and Giddings and etc. If ring your bell, then we want you to come forward and render the numbers that you have decided that you want to sing this afternoon with the Spirit. Speak to yourselves psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing, making melody in your heart to the Lord. And then somebody else had the nerve to say that sing with the Spirit. That being true, if you understand what you're singing and you're singing with the Spirit, I'm sure you understand that you're not going to sing this afternoon. I woke up this morning and looked out the window and see my baby walking away.
I feel good. Oh, Jesus.
Jesus.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Jesus.
Oh, how I love.
How I love calling your name. When you bless me, Lord, I'll be satisfied.
But the day was not complete without great food, Giddings sausage, and dominoes, lots of sand between the toes, singing and fellowship at the Maloy's place.
I'll be satisfied.
And I've said before, and I want to tell you again, Fidelity, you probably hear it in the interview, but you brought me to where I am. Whatever I am and whatever I have accomplished, number one, without God and without my family and without Fidelity, this church here, without Fidelity Church of Christ and my family and God, I would fail. Fidelity Church has stood by me from day one until day now.
That's right.
They've been there for me. And I tell you, it's the truth that, well, we don't want for anything. They see after us. Other folk are curious about how we survive. The church is not as large as a lot of other churches, but that's not the answer. That's not the key. The answer to it is, how well are you committed? You know, if people are committed, you can do the unthinkable.
I want to see the church move forward together and stay together, united as one, as the Bible teaches. Loving one another and reaching out to the community. Do that. Have that kind of mindset. And God will be with you. He will bless you. Do that. Will you do that? Be sweet children. Be caring children. Thank you all for listening to me on this brother today.
Thank you.
He's still here. My trials, my tears, only Jesus brings me strength through all my trials.
So from all of the friends, family, and members of the Fidelity Church of Christ, thank you for 50 years of service.
He's coming, he's coming. Oh yeah. Get ready. He's coming again. People get ready. There's a train coming for you and I. The only preparation is to get your life right with Jesus Christ. Oh yeah. You know that faith without works won't unlock the door. just obey His word, and you can get on board. Yeah, everybody on board for the gospel train. Get on. Come on. Get your soul right. Oh yeah, 'cause He may come tonight. Yeah. Train.